There's a city in Hungary where thermal springs have flowed for centuries, where students fill the terraces until midnight, and where time seems to have stopped. Today I'm taking you to Miskolc, traveling solo, and I promise this video will completely change how you see Eastern Hungary. The journey here was pretty chaotic this morning. I left Debrecen very early, and 3 trains were cancelled in a row before I finally managed to board one. I arrived in under an hour, but with that familiar feeling every independent traveler knows. Never sure if the day's plan will survive the first surprise. The weather was relentless. From the morning on, the temperature never dropped below 30 degrees Celsius, turning the trip into a real test of endurance under the sun. Crossing the country from west to east, I noticed a surprising shift in the landscape. I left Budapest and its crowds behind to arrive in a much more authentic region, far less focused on social media. Miskolc is exactly that, a real city, with its people, its seasons, its contradictions, and its hidden treasures. A practical tip: if you travel light like me, local SIM cards or European roaming work perfectly here. That's not always the case in more rural areas of the Balkans, and it's an important detail when you work while traveling. In numbers, around 150,000 people live here, across roughly 236 square kilometers. The average annual temperature is about 10 degrees Celsius, but the day I filmed this, the thermometer showed over 36 degrees. With that suffocating heat from early morning, let's just say I sweated a lot for you. The first thing that strikes you, beyond the student energy, is the aesthetic of the city. Many buildings, apartment blocks, and even some signs still carry that old, almost frozen style typical of the communist era. Walking through certain neighborhoods of Miskolc is literally like stepping back in time. Gray concrete, no frills functional architecture, that retro charm that mocks Instagram cliches. This isn't a staged tourist attraction, it's the real city, raw and unfiltered, exactly as it remained after decades of recent history. And that authenticity also comes with a rougher, more complicated side that I don't think should be hidden. I saw real social struggles in the streets, visible poverty and hardship that reflect the deeper economic challenges many communities here still face. It's a painful reality I had already noticed in Budapest, but here it repeats with striking intensity. It's a complex social issue that's part of the human landscape of Eastern Hungary, and I believe that as travelers, we have a responsibility to show it as it is, without idealizing the destination or looking away. To really understand life here, you have to venture into these concrete giants. The vast majority of Miskolc's residents live in these massive apartment blocks built during the communist era. These are neighborhoods home to working families, people of modest means, but with admirable dignity. Walking through these areas, you might be tempted to think, wrongly, that they're dangerous zones. It's actually the opposite. These neighborhoods are extremely safe. It's very rare to have a bad experience here, even at night. There's a sense of community and respect for order that's been lost in many major capitals. This trip actually made me think a lot about the current state of the continent. In my opinion, Hungary has become one of the best countries in Europe. On one hand, it offers an excellent quality of life, letting you live well without the chaos and the sky-high cost of living of Western Europe. On the other hand, its tax system is extremely favorable, especially for freelancers and digital nomads looking to make the most of their work. But beyond the numbers and safety, there's a human factor that makes this country even more exceptional. It's no secret that Hungary is home to some of the most beautiful women in the world. Stunning women from all over Europe, and I'm not just talking about physical beauty, but something deeper. These are women who embody an authentic femininity, a natural elegance, and a deep connection to their traditional values, rare qualities these days. It's this blend of culture, safety, economic advantages, and human warmth that makes this destination so captivating. On the heritage side, Este Castle is absolutely worth the detour. This medieval fortress has stood through the centuries, and visiting it is a real history lesson, far from dusty museums. The historic center, with its colorful houses and cobblestone streets, contrasts sharply with the Soviet-style neighborhoods on the outskirts. And then there's this historic tram that runs through the city, like something straight out of another era. Before we continue, a quick note. If destinations shaped by recent history interest you, I have a whole series of videos on lesser-known countries like Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan, or Eastern Slovakia. Subscribe and turn on notifications, because what's coming next will surprise you even more. Moving on. What truly sets Miskolc apart are its thermal baths. The hot springs bubbling up from underground have been used here for generations, and their benefits are well proven. Better blood circulation, joint health, stress reduction, a real concentrate of natural wellness, almost like an open-air spa. From a health and wellness standpoint, this is exactly the kind of experience I recommend to anyone looking to slow down without sacrificing comfort. Moving on. What truly sets Miskolc apart are its thermal baths. The hot springs bubbling up from underground have been used here for generations, and their benefits are well proven. Better blood circulation, joint health, stress reduction, a real concentrate of natural wellness, almost like an open-air spa. From a health and wellness standpoint, this is exactly the kind of experience I recommend to anyone looking to slow down without sacrificing comfort. An afternoon at the thermal baths costs far less than a high-end spa in Western Europe, making it a great option for budget travelers. That said, I noticed a major contradiction. While prices in Hungary are generally much lower than in Western Europe, finding accommodation turned out to be more complicated. I found few options, and to make things worse, prices were fairly high. It seems the hotel infrastructure still hasn't caught up with the city's tourism potential, something worth keeping in mind when planning a trip. Around the city, nature takes over. Forests, hills, and trails stretch as far as the eye can see. I saw as many cyclists as hikers, proof that the region attracts both nature lovers and city dwellers seeking fresh air. It's the perfect place to escape the suffocating heat that climbs past 30 degrees Celsius from early morning. As for transportation, everything is designed to make getting around easy. Buses, trams, and a city flat enough to explore on foot or by bike without any effort. For someone who travels from country to country like me, this kind of simple, efficient infrastructure makes all the difference when planning an itinerary. Walking around here, with temperatures that haven't dropped below 30 degrees Celsius since morning, you need a break, and that's where the food comes in. Hungarian cuisine doesn't hold back. Goulash remains an undisputed classic, but I also recommend trying langos, a generously topped fried pastry, and kurtoskalacs, that sweet, rolled, caramelized pastry you eat while walking. 3 dishes, 3 experiences, and a value-for-money ratio that, unlike accommodation, is unmatched compared to Western Europe. Hungarian classical music, championed by composers like Franz Liszt and Bela Bartok, has deeply influenced the European repertoire. The country's literature is full of love stories and local traditions, dances, folk festivals, and simple gestures like a bouquet of flowers or a candlelit dinner. Still play an important role in everyday life. Talking with Hungarians, I noticed a real cultural pride around these traditions, passed down naturally from generation to generation. While the Danube in Budapest and the vineyards of Tokaj are classics for a romantic getaway, Miskolc deserves its place on that list too, for different reasons. Its charm lies in that unique mix of Soviet-era nostalgia, centuries-old thermal springs, and an unexpected student nightlife. Miskolc proved to me once again that it's worth stepping off the beaten path instead of following the crowd, even when the result isn't always picture-perfect. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe to the channel and most importantly, check out my other videos on still unknown destinations, something I do regularly. See you very soon for the next part of this journey. Until next time.